Anyway, hey everybody, I'm Jen Tackett. Welcome to Stacks and Snacks. And I'm super excited to have with you my friend, Alan Brown, aka Corduroy Brown. I'm even wearing a shirt tonight.
Hey, look at that. Oh, that's the good shirt.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, this is probably a bad precedence to set. Like now every artist is gonna be like, are you wearing my shirt? So
You
I
started
was a little
something.
nervous, but I was like, I gotta wear it. I gotta wear it.
Thank you for getting a shirt. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little about introduce yourself to the folks that don't know.
Yeah, so I'm Corduroy Brown or Alan Brown, if you're nasty, from Huntington, West Virginia. I actually grew up in Chesapeake, Ohio, but if anyone's ever been to Huntington, like Ohio's right, like I could where I'm at right now, I could throw a rock across the river and hit, Ohio. So I tell everyone from West Virginia to Ohio at the same time. Also Kentucky, Ashland, Kentucky is like 10 minutes down the road. So we're all part of the same family. I've been playing music since honestly 2008. I remember my mom got me a pawn shop guitar from Mac and Dave's, and I learned a bunch of chords for this church song. And I thought I was like, oh man, like you thought I was tough learning some G chords. And music has just been a major part of my life ever since then. It's like been the best addiction I could ever have, honestly. And I know you know that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all got to
Like,
have our vices, so it's good to have a good vice like music.
oh yeah, it'll definitely. I mean, I've been so blessed that like to get to play not only my own music, but I mean, I grew up in churches, so I play in different churches, and I've played for so many awesome musicians like Jeremy Short from Short and Company, Holly Forbes, who was just obviously on The Voice this past year, and I mean,
Right?
oh my gosh, I could. I mean, Chelsea Nolan and I were on the road together at some point. I don't know. It's just music is something that is just always a huge blessing and a huge, blessing to be a part of too.
That's awesome. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but your record was the highlight of my 2021. Like it was the production, like the writing, like the whole vibe was just beautiful and like the whole I need it on vinyl is what I need.
Yeah, a couple people have been asking that. I'm
I need
actually,
that pink record.
oh man, something might be coming your way that I don't even know about, but someone approached me about doing some vinyl of that. So,
Okay, that would make me so happy. So tell me about your stacks of vinyl. Like what vinyl did you bring with you tonight to talk about?
you know what? I have a Michael Jackson one sitting in my little nephew's room at my mom's house that I forgot to bring,
That's
and
okay.
it was the Thriller one, because what? How can you not? And maybe that's like a cheap cop out. My cat is getting into the treats that I brought. I can hear him rustling. Um, but if I had the
Chatting
vinyl,
snacks.
oh man, yeah. So I have the snacks part down, but I told you before we started, I was like, oh my lord, I was in every
It's all right.
possible configuration today. But if I had it with me, man, the Thriller album, because I don't know how you cannot love it. Or I mean, I'm a Michael Jackson fanatic anyway, so that's what it is. So.
Was Thriller like your go-to, like your song, your that was the song on the album that you loved?
Ooh, I don't know if that was the actual song, but like the Thriller album, or was it? No, was it that? Help me out. Was the album actually called Thriller too, or was I thinking of another one?
No,
Like,
Thriller, and then I'm Bad was the next one he released, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was more of a like grew up with the black or white era, song, Dirty Diana,
Oh yeah,
like
the way you make me
that.
feel. That video, the way you make me feel is like one of the best videos
Yes.
ever. It's so
Oh
great.
yes.
It's so
I
great.
wish. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I spent like trying to hit those dance moves as a kid,
Did you
and
really?
oh
Can you
lord, like
moonwalk?
I can like slide, but I can't like move. I can do it like horizontally, but I can't go backwards. Like we're not gonna get. I
Slide,
can't
slide.
dance. Do not tell people I can dance. Like we don't want to go there. That's the one thing I can't do.
That's, that's okay. We'll let it slide. See what I
I
did
can't.
there?
I can't boot scoot like you with your red boots.
You need here's what that's the thing. You need the right boots.
I,
And then
I
they just
need.
give you
Yeah,
life and they take over.
I would trust you with a boot opinion.
We'll go to Nashville so now I'm gonna pick you out some boots.
Oh,
Find you those
please let
perfect
me know.
ones.
Let me know when.
But the Thriller album, that was one. So growing up, where my love of vinyl started was um my mom on Saturday mornings, we all, Jeremy and my brother and I, we cleaned the house and helped mom. And so that was like
Hmm.
our motivation. You know, she put
Hmm.
on some good music, but Thriller was one of those ones
Oh
that
yeah.
that we would cling to. And I just remember that one for sure vividly.
Hmm.
I loved
Like
it.
can't go wrong at
So
all.
did you also get some of like your singing? Like who are there, what records do you listen to that where you kind of draw some of your like your vocal styling from?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew, and it's probably maybe the same answer for you, but like there's so I think we both grew up like musically surrounded with so many things.
Right.
Like I remember like going to basketball practice in like elementary school. My dad's blaring like '90s, early 2000s, like baby making music, listening to like that, or like jamming to Earth, Wind and Fire,
Right.
and like but what really when I first started like in high school, believe it or not, I listened to a band called Flyleaf, and there's like a heavy rock female fronted band back in like the early 2000s. Learned every note, lick for lick, on every instrument on their album, and then I got into Dave Matthews when I got a little older, and then went into like a band called Houndmouth, who I think is from Kentucky or Indiana, whichever. Um,
Yeah, but where are, is
but
it
like
like Louisville's? I don't know.
somewhere in there, yeah, they always tell the people they're from like Kentucky or Indiucky or something, because like Kentucky and Indiana. So but like I like cut my teeth on like really tapes more than anything at first. Then I had CDs, and then eventually iPods and stuff like that too.
Right.
But I mean, maybe all over the place. Everyone, like when I like send my music to people, they're like, you sound like you grew up in the '90s. I was like, oh, I did. Like like that's definitely like I don't know, just all those '90s kind of alternative in between, whatever that was.
Right. The rock grunge,
Yeah, like
all of it.
a little bit post
Angsty.
grunge with like bare naked ladies, like Oasis, kind of like just that kind of whatever that is. Like,
Yeah. Kind of like a mesh of, well, it's kind of like the 90s anyway. The 90s were kind of a mesh of like so many different things, you know.
oh
So,
yeah.
and I think the music kind of at that time reflected that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What other
Like
records do you like to spin? What's some of
there's
your
Arctic
favorites?
Monkeys. I forgot to mention them. Like I don't even know when. Like I think all the records that I have like ended up buying were just bands that like when I first started playing guitar. Like so, like Arctic Monkeys is on the list. God, who else is there that I can even think of? Like, I mean, you have to go with like obviously like Fleetwood Mac and just some of the classics of sure, of
Right.
course. Like you have to, but I'd tell you probably I've probably tried to sound like the Arctic Monkeys way too much. But
I've never heard them, so I'm gonna have to look those up after this.
there's man, you're gonna get there's a deep dive. They're from Yorkshire, so they all sound like this.
I love
It's
it.
pretty funny. I can't go without saying Paramore, and I think when I mention Paramore, everyone automatically thinks like Misery Business, Orange Hair version, because that's when they first
Right,
catapulted.
right.
But like now, like their album After Laughter is I'm surprised the whole album that I put out doesn't sound exactly like that. It's very 80s influence, kind of like Talking Heads in a way, but like so much syncopation and a lot of like I don't know, it's just so good. But like the After Laughter album from Paramore, oh Lord, I mean, burn that one to the ground. Like, oh Lord, like burn the needle marks in that one. Like,
Is that one of the ones like when you went into recording that you were like, okay, sonically, here's where I'm at?
yeah. And what took forever though is like the album got recorded over the process of about a year. So like that was like at one point, when I was like there's a song I had a music video out to called Who I Am for Now, that I was like, okay, listen, I want to kind of like listen to this, and here's some inspiration from that for sure. But then also like again, Arctic Monkeys and Cage the Elephant is probably a big influence too. And like I'm not rowdy and raucous like those guys, but like I don't know, it just all kind of just comes out sometimes. Like
I like that like you said, you kind of like bring all those things together. Your
yeah.
cat is all about this. Well, all right. So I told you that since we were doing this virtually, that don't make me buy like some expensive lobster to have with you. And you told me the most like the most like I would be like, okay, I think these are in my cabinet. I think I said I have those, and then I ended up not having one. So I'm kind of I'm kind of eating those words.
It's all good.
But all right, so tell me your first snack.
Listen, I remember eating these in church growing up, and I feel like my mom always had a like the most endless bag of these in church, just like as a little kid.
Yeah.
And I have to go with Smarties. I was gonna go Skittles, but Kroger didn't have Skittles for some reason.
Kroger, what are you doing?
Kroger, come on. Like, but Smarties, listen, I can eat way too many of these at one time. Like, I'm like the cat that like doesn't just eat a couple out of a little wrapper. Like, I just want every piece out of the individual wrappers, and it's like, oh god, that's probably not good. Like, but Smarties.
What is that? What is it about Smarties? Because I can remember like my great aunt and my mom having Smarties in church. Maybe just because they're like tiny. They like think they're like little like dog treats for toddlers. They're like
yeah,
like to get you to sit there.
I think that's it. Yeah, I was always getting in trouble at church, and I remember mom was like, "You don't sit down," and like she'd just give me Smarties as I'm playing through a little hymnal, like like making as much noise as possible with them. So maybe it's the nostalgia. Maybe it brings me back to being a little kid. But Smarties all day, I could eat way too many.
I love Smarties. Those, like I said, those are kind of like probably don't get as much attention as they deserve.
Underrated, yes.
They're very good, and they're like you said, they're tiny, and they come in that cute little wrapper.
So what did you bring instead of that?
Kit Kats.
Or instead of the.
And listen, this I also have. So I have like because it's like the Valentine's Kit Kats. But at work yesterday, as I was leaving, we had snacks left over from a training, and I put it in my coat pocket, my winter coat pocket. And when I got home, like it's the Reese's Heart, which are unbelievable. But I'm so terrified to like open this.
Gosh, it's a mess. Yeah,
it's gonna look like poop.
Yeah,
it's gonna look. So
you might have to do that for this video. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want me to see if it looks like poop?
I think we have to know now.
Oh gosh. All right, so oh man.
Uh-oh. That's gonna be all. Yep. Yep. You're right.
Oh man. That does look like.
Yep.
Straight up.
There you go.
Oh.
Now we know.
And now I can't eat it.
Yep, you ruined it. I might have pushed you to ruin that.
With a turd. So
I'm gonna crack open a Smartie for some redemption here.
Yeah, I'll keep it safe with a Kit Kat, but so what record? If you could if you had to play like one record every day for the rest of your life, what are you playing?
Ooh, between Cage the Elephant, their album or the record Thank You Happy Birthday, or the Paramore After Laughter album. Yeah, that's a hard toss up. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Paramore one, because like I wish people would like, I don't know, it's like it's weird because like you kind of grow up with a band, like when you're angsty and watching Twilight and like
want to be a vampire.
Yeah. You're listening to Paramore do their pop punk era 2004 whatever that was, like, and then you grow up and you start like I feel like I grew up with Paramore, and like their new album, like I've related to every single one of them because we're at the same age. So the Paramore After Laughter album, I'll take that one hands down.
Which one was Only Exception on?
That was a album called Brand New Eyes. It came out I think two before. That one came out like 2009 or 10.
I sang that in a wedding.
Oh, it was a perfect wedding song.
It was really neat. It was weird because I was at a vineyard, and like the electricity only reached out so far. So like the wedding is like probably more than 300 yards, like half a mile away. And God. I'm back here. I don't know if they could hear me. I don't know what it sounded like, but they're probably like, where is this coming from? But,
yeah.
But I love that song. I liked
it's beautiful. Like it's a love song too, but like she talks about don't get me started. Like if there's topics you want to hit, I will ramble way on for Paramore. Don't get me started. But, like they like that's just about her like parents being divorced and like, you know, really ultimately about a divorce.
Yeah.
And I love when artists can like take pretty pop songs and then write really dark or really like genuine, not even dark stuff with them. Like Sia is good for that. The girl that sings "I Want to Swing on the Chain,"
Right.
that chick. Like her albums are great, but they're all wrapped up in this little like poppy bubblegum thing. But
I
like
know.
she's singing about some serious stuff. Like
Yes, I'm
so.
all about that dichotomy, that
Mhm.
sad, happy dichotomy, like layering like sad lyrics, like you said, on like this kind of up tempo kind of thing. Like I love that. I think it
Oh yeah.
keeps it interesting for sure.
Oh yeah. And then everyone can relate to it, really. But like ultimately, I mean, there's definitely some meat in there that needs to be cooked a little bit to understand it, really. Which I tried to do that with my album, honestly. Like that's why it took me so daggone long. I feel like it's because like I wanted to make sure that I knew these smarts are so sweet. I'm like making a word face with them. I wanted to make sure I meant every single word, you know, like I
Right.
didn't want any fluff, and it took me forever to finish. But I'm so glad I did that.
So did you write most of those like as at different points, or did you sit down and like I'm writing this record right now, or did you just pull from certain different songs from different times of your life, or
Yeah, some of those songs were as old as 2017, and they had just started off as ideas. And then when I figured out that I wanted to do an album, like I kind of went back and was like, these are the ones that I care about the most. These are the ones that have like kind of preached to me the most. Oh, I just kicked my thing. Sorry. And like the song "Who I Am for Now" is literally from 2017. I was sitting in this house and I was getting ready to move out of this house, and the floor was uneven. And that's kind of the first lyrics are like, you know,
yeah.
talking about like my feet, they fall and stumble, my foundation falling down, and like all this stuff. And that was when I like first started going to therapy too. And it's like, I don't know, all these songs have just, I think that's why they sound so freaking all over the place too, is because they were from different parts of my life, honestly.
Right.
So
Right.
it's been hard to like nail. I mean, people are like, what kind of music? What do you sound like? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just
Good.
sound like my life.
Good.
Thank you. How about you? Like, what, like when you writing songs, and I know you just had a new little ditty come out,
Little Diddy.
little thing. What's it like for you?
When I'm writing or
Yeah, or
figuring out
just
what
in general, like, I mean, do you know that you're gonna have a song they're gonna release, or do you have songs that are just like chilling that you're like, oh man, I should put that out? Like, it's actually good.
yeah, I'll tell you, like, I mean, I generally like I write at random times, like stuff just kind of comes to me, like stuff happens, somebody said something, I think of something, and like so I have like in my notes in my phone. But the hardest thing, like, because I was gonna try to record in 2020, and then of course 2020 happened
Mm-hmm.
because it was in my goal, like I wrote it on my vision board, you know. And then 2021, I was like, you know, I didn't play very much because, like, you know, we're operating like we're not in a pandemic when we're still very much in a pandemic,
Yeah.
and so that gives me anxiety. So, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, 2021 was kind of wild too. You know, it was like everything felt good, and then it got, you know, when fall came back, and it, you know, felt like stuff was closing back in again. So I talked to my friend Donnie Bowling, and he was like, you know what, you just need to go do it. Go to Tom Nato, just do it. And so trying to figure out, because I've been planning, like I have a EP note, like all these different songs, but now when it came up to it, I was like, you know what? I've been playing those songs for a while. I want something that I
Mm-hmm.
haven't played out very much and that people really haven't heard. So, but trying to figure out the next ones was like the hardest thing. But I think I've narrowed it down. Um, you know, but I could probably do a full album of just songs about me growing up on a farm, you know, and maybe
Right.
that's
Yeah.
something I want to do one day. Um, but right now I'm trying to find the ones that kind of tell my story, I guess, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of as my introduction to folks is kind of what I was thinking.
Sure. That's awesome. Like, I think I had this conversation with someone today. Like, most likely, none of us are going to be famous doing this. Like, I don't know about you. Like, I have a full time job too.
Me
So,
too. Yeah.
like, as much as I want to, you know, dream about, like, not even dream about being somebody rock star. It's not even about that. Like, you know, I want to play as many shows and do as many things and do all the things. It's like, it's so easy to get lost in that and lose like last year when the album came out, it was out the same year that I got really, really sick. And
Yeah.
like every story was about being sick and like making it out of that and doing this. And like you kind of become like you kind of become the persona or something like that. I don't know. Cause I've really been thinking about it. Like I've booked shows through October already. And every time I book a show, I'm like, when are you gonna take a step back and be Alan?
Right.
So it's easy to get lost in it though, because it's like this is what we love. So it's like I don't know. I've been having a weird time with like separating, but still maintaining because it's like
It's so hard. And I was trying to explain it to my mom. I was like, because I know we've talked about anxiety and stuff, but like I was telling her, I was like, first of all, I don't like to write. It's what I like. It's what I do. Like, I love writing, but it's not something I just choose. I have to do it. Like it's not something I've chosen. I have to do it. But also, and I love going out, and I'm a super extrovert. So I love going out and seeing people. I said, but it's like, I've had this anxiety about going out, our son has asthma. And so, we've just been very careful about things. I said, but then when I don't go out, like I can feel myself shrinking in, like I can feel it. And so it's this weird double-edged sword of trying to, find that balance of getting out enough, but also like, I don't know. So that's what I've been dealing with. I don't know if that's what it's been like for you, but it's kind of like, if I don't do it, I can feel it, I'm like, okay, Jennifer, you need to get over it, move on. We played Saturday night and it was so much fun. And I hadn't played since November, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. So it had been a while. I was like, am I going to be able to like know what to do when I go out there? But all I do is just tell stupid stories and sing. So
it's kind of like riding a bike. I mean, like, I think our first show is February 19th. Whenever this is, who knows, whenever this is going to air. But
is this Saturday?
It's this
okay.
Yeah. So if this is like future us or past us, whatever. Like
we're in the Matrix, Alan. We don't know.
A red or blue pill. Yeah. But like Corduroy hasn't played a full band show since last October. So like, and I've done acoustic things here and there, but like, man, I'm like, oh man, we gotta go, y'all. Let's step on it. We're like, it's just weird. It's like, okay, I think I know how to do this.
I'm excited to, like I said, I hopefully I'm gonna get to see you live this year.
Same for you.
What is a record that you have or that you love that probably somebody would be like, what? Like, what's the weird one you got hiding back there?
Oh, yikes. Man, guilty pleasure when I'm nervous now. I don't know. I was gonna say like I'm pretty outward about Paramore, but I think that one throws people off. I'm like, really? But maybe. Oh man, that's like a great question. I'm like tempted to go on like Spotify's what I've been listening to recently because I'm trying to think of like weird stuff. I listen to a lot of like. Okay, actually, no. I actually know this without. Oh, I overthought that. My guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Two of them, Casey Musgraves and Miranda Lambert.
Oh,
hands down, guilty pleasure. Casey, listen, hurt me, Casey.
Star-Crossed was just perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Like I didn't think it could get any better, but it did.
Like I'm scrolling through that when it comes out, Star-Crossed, and I hit camera roll, and I was like, oh no.
Whew.
I was like, I'm going down with the ship right now.
Yeah.
Like man.
Yeah, she's somebody who I have to see her in concert sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
you let me know when you go in. I'll go with you because I'm dying to see her.
We'll be right there up front.
Crying our eyes out. Crying.
That's so true.
Have you been to the Keith Albee before in Huntington?
Huh?
Have you been to the Keith Albee in Huntington before?
Uh-uh.
It's like this real historical theater, like beautiful, like ornate. So she probably like Casey came there whenever. Oh man, that was probably like 2000 and like 16 or something, 17, and it was just whenever that "Late to the Party with You" song was
Oh
like
yeah,
getting
yeah.
out.
Oh, I
It was like
love
around
that
that
one.
time, whenever that was, and I was just like, oh my god, it's incredible.
She's
So
amazing, and Miranda is too. Miranda, she kind of keeps she reinvents her sound, but keeps it the
yeah.
same. Like I don't know how to explain it, but
Hmm.
she's really good at kind of not keep because of course Casey does she does what she wants, but Miranda, it's like it's she keeps us interested because it's still very much classic,
Sure.
country, but it's kind of invigorating. I don't know how to explain it, but
No,
Miranda's
you're saying it right.
she's awesome. I have seen her in concert a couple of times. The one I remember is um, we were at a baseball field in Lexington,
Hmm.
and it poured rain the entire time. And I had this old John Deere hat, and I've had this hat forever. Like when I worked on the farm, I had it forever, and it turned my hair green. Like by the time I got home, all my hair was green from standing out in the rain 2 hours watching Miranda.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's my Miranda story. So is Starcross your go-to like when you're want to get in your
Mm,
feelings?
I mean, I could dip my toes into that, but then what was the album that? Oh gosh, it had. I'm blanking out right now. I can hear the song. It had a song called "Fine" on it, but it also had. It
Oh,
was
fine.
the one with Biscuits. That album, was that
Oh,
the same album?
no, that was the first. Was that Merry-Go-Round?
That's yeah. But what's the one with like pageant? Oh, it's pageant
Pageant
material. Yeah,
material. Pageant
yeah.
material.
That album. Oh man, there's a song in there called "Somebody to Love."
That one's yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And Golden Hour was the one before. So I looked up because I was trying to find that album. But did you ever listen to Waves? Her and Miguel.
ooh, I don't know if I did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, when we're done, go listen to it and you're going to be like, Lord, it's like the craziest, most amazing summer song ever. It's Casey and
Okay, I'm
Miguel.
pumped now. I'm pumped
It's
now.
so good. I'm so glad. My favorite thing is like introducing awesome music to people who I know will appreciate it. And so like this is like made my night.
Nice. Yeah,
All right.
I can't believe. I wonder if I've heard it and didn't realize it was Casey or something. Because I thought I'd know like everything she did, but like I'll probably hear it and be like, oh crap, I didn't realize this was her. Like,
Yeah, it's fantastic. I remember me and my friend, we listened like one summer, we listened to it every time we got in the car. Her and I, we were just like,
to
oh my gosh. All right,
show
what's
you
your other snack? Oh
to
my
show you my Hannah
gosh, look at
Montana
that
guitar.
beauty.
Wow, it's a Hannah Montana guitar, and I had it hanging up. My phone is magnetic, so I have it hanging on a guitar stand right now while I'm talking to you. And it's got pink paint from the music video on it all over it still,
Oh, I love
but
it.
it's literally Hannah Montana.
That is
Like,
fantastic.
I need to clean her up. But other snacks. Listen, I'm a fiend for these. I'm an
These are the ones that
absolute
cracked me up. You,
like I can't get enough. Like for Christmas, my mom stacks me up with these, like like wall to wall,
no
and
way.
Ritz crackers,
I have died.
like Ritz fresh box today. I even got the whole grain or whatever this one is, whole wheat. Sorry.
Oh,
They're really not much healthier, but they got a little bit better for you.
I
So
got tickled because when I went to get mine, I had the generic and they're called buttery rounds. And I was like, that name is ridiculous. What frat boy was on a marketing team and was like, y'all know what I got to
buttery
name them?
rounds.
Buttery rounds. I was
Yep,
like,
yep.
but I mean, they look,
Do they? Would you compare the taste the same? Like,
yeah,
nice.
they're buttery and they're round. So,
Listen, those are two great things. Like, like just for general life rules, those are pretty
buttery
good.
and round.
Yeah, universally good things.
But I died when I looked at what it because I was like, oh, great value. What's it called? That's ridiculous. Get out of here. Great value.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh gosh. Yeah. So Ritz crackers for sure. Like Man, when I was in the hospital, I don't even keep going back to that, but like I couldn't wait. I had my mom bring me some. Like when I got out
How
of
long were you in
ICU
the
and could like,
hospital?
um, man, my first hospital bill was like February 22 of last year, and then I don't know when. I think I was in there for, it was close to 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, there's been people that like, I mean, you know, it's not like I'm like, man, whatever, because there's people that have it way worse, but like it was just like really scary, really fast.
Right. Yeah.
Because like I was in a hospital here in Huntington on like I went on like a Friday, and they like sent me home, and I went back the next morning because I was suffering badly. My kidneys were just, felt like they just exploded. I was throwing up. I was just barely, I mean, it's just weird, crazy, and like they had no idea what was going on. So long story short for that, like I got put on a vent. Like I went there Saturday again. I got put on a ventilator Tuesday morning, life flighted in a helicopter, died in the helicopter, landed, they bring me back, and I get put on life support in Morgantown, West Virginia. So that's like 3 hours from Huntington. And like I was supposed to be on life support for two weeks, and then they were going to make a decision. But then like my body was like, oh, just kidding. We're sort of good. So they took me off life support in like 4 days. And then like my body just was like, okay, hold on, we ain't done yet, man. Let's go. So
Right.
like it was just wild because like it's coming up on the year anniversary, and I'm still like and this is kind of like where I was like think about stuff, and I love being candid and just open and honest, but it's been really tricky lately because like whenever I got out of the hospital, like it was wild because there was a GoFundMe set up that had like $30,000 in it, and like people had donated that, and like people like had made sure my family had places to stay in Morgantown, and like that my cat was fed, and like there was like concerts when I got home that people were doing, and they were selling t-shirts. Like that's the design that you have that like whenever I was out of it, like people like Heath Holly made that design. And then on top of that, like there was like parades and all this crazy stuff that was happening, like that I still don't have the words for, but like it's just wild to think about all that. And then but what's been really crazy is like I think I'm just now getting to process it.
I was going to ask, have you even been able to process all that?
I haven't until recently. I just now started really digging back into it. And my mom there's a folder right here where my mom was handwriting all this stuff.
Yeah.
When this was all happening, as she was learning it, as she was just hearing and what the doctors were saying. And I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to open it soon because it's weird to think about it. Because I actually went back and looked at these, like this update page that someone made. And there were updates on there that like Alan blinked his eyes today, like, and to think like that was something that was being celebrated because like
so many people celebrating,
like it's just unbelievable. So I haven't processed it yet, and I'm not even lying when I say this. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but like I can still hear the quivers in the nurse's voice,
right?
Like when she was trying to get people to help her move me to the vent side of things. Like, and I remember looking up at this woman, and she's looking at me with these scared eyes because my organs were failing, all of them. Like when I left Huntington, I was in heart failure, and liver failure, and kidney failure, and lung failure. And like, I can hear it. I can hear her panic, and it's freaking me out sometimes. Like, then on top of that, like, I mean, I've talked about this a lot at this point, and I hope it's not like beating dead horses, but like, whenever apparently I like somehow passed away or some flatlined in the helicopter, and then they brought me back and put me on life support and whatever. But like, you know how people talk about like seeing like a white light and stuff?
Yeah.
That's completely real. Like it's serious as it gets. Like I'm getting chills thinking about it again, but like I could see myself like wherever I was, and it was as far as I could look, it was infinitely white. But like I could acknowledge that myself was there. I even had the wherewithal to acknowledge like I'm not in my body anymore. I had that thought wherever I was, and I can see this plain as day in my head. Like I can see it. Like I'm getting chills right now because I haven't like talked about it in a long time. But like, and then there's like this. I hate to call it like a ball of energy, but there's like this little like something close to like a little energy, like a little something. Like in the contrast of the infinite white, it was like this like darker like something. And it started close to my chest, and like I couldn't interact with it, but I could see it, and I watched it, sit really close to me, and then I watched it slowly fade way, 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 way out in the distance. And like I was acknowledging, like, okay, that's my soul. Like that's my spirit. Like
Right.
I had that moment in that wherever the heck I was. But and it sounds crazy. I'm aware of that, but it was the most peaceful, beautiful, calm I've
Really.
ever had.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was heaven or purgatory or a cloud or something,
Right.
but I have so many questions for God if He's going to answer them one day.
Right.
Like, dude, where the heck was I?
Right.
like,
But you're
like
not,
I want to.
I've there's the movie that came out that was like Heaven is for Real. Like there's been
Mm,
several people that have had, near death experiences that talk about that similar thing. So that's
yeah.
so wild. I'm so thankful you're here though.
Thank you so much.
I know
Like,
there's so many people. I know there's so many people that are, and especially since um you yourself are such a light anyway, and then your music is a reflection of that as well. So
thank you. Like, it
we're super thankful.
feels so good to like. I mean, it was hard to keep up with like thanking everyone because it was just unbelievable how like the people that out like it was just unbelievable. But like I think the two words I said more than anything were just lucky and loved. Like
Right,
because that's the only two things I could ever come up with. It's like I just feel so lucky and feel so loved. It's like
right.
apparently we got more work to do. So anyway,
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about snacks and your stacks of records. I appreciate it a
yeah, I
ton.
gotta get more Smarties in the system here.
Yes, you got a ton of Smarties.
It's I ain't listen. I ain't playing around. Like
I'm gonna
it's
need
a
to know
mega. It
how long
says
those
mega bag.
last. Like if you got those today, how long will they
I'll
last?
date you in like 2 weeks, maybe.
Did you? I was a candy hoarder. Like when we grew, like I would try to make my Halloween candy last forever just to
Mhm.
aggravate my brother. Like because he would eat his so fast, and
Mhm.
then I'd be like, "What? I'm over here still with my Smarties."
Yep, yep.
It was
Well, I
that
would be like
good.
your brother then, because like these are gonna be gone way too soon.
Well,
Um,
I hope you have an awesome show this weekend.
thank you, thank you. When are you playing next? I want to know. I want to know about you.
Um, let's see. When do I play next? Oh, I'm playing at the Raven in Louisville. Chelsea, Nolan and I are doing a round with Dave Ernst up there.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, a songwriters round. I was like, does Dave know what he's getting himself into with me and
With
Chelsea?
you two? Oh Lord.
It's, it's ridiculous. We did that heritage round and it was me, a Chelsea, Beck, and Britt Taylor.
Oh
And
my.
we had so much fun. It
I
was
can
wild.
imagine.
It was wild. But that's what,
Well, that's
like
exciting.
that's my favorite part about music too is, all the amazing people that I've been able to meet and connect
Mhm.
with has just been incredible. So it
That's
makes
the best part of it, honestly. Yeah, for sure.
well, we'll have to do another random. Maybe we need to do a Paramore song on duet that.
You just let me know. I got you.
Okay. All right.
Or
Well, thank you so
Miranda,
much for
actually.
coming on. Or what?
Or Miranda or
Miranda?
Casey, whatever.
Okay. All
So,
right. Now
all right.
your homework is to go listen to Waves by Miguel and Casey Musgrave, and then you have to let me know what you think.
I got you.
All right. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of
All
your
right.
evening.
Thank you. You too. See
All
ya.
right. Bye.